You were up in the Harbor Town lighthouse.
Yeah, so haven't been back to Harbor Town in a long time. George and I went back. We started our bucket list journeys there about 13 years ago, and we I think we'd maybe played Doral prior to that as like a top name course that we'd ever been to. But we just started let's just start picking off PGA courses, and let's start the bucket list now. So Harbor Town to me is a special place in my heart because it's one of the very first trips that George and I took to go, to a PGA level course and play it. And when we were there, had great conditions. Went back this past weekend with the wife, and we traipsed around between Charleston and Savannah, and went up to Hilton Head. Unfortunately, when we were there so this is when George and I were there, it was all about golf, golf, golf. And so I didn't really get to get up and explore Hilton Head like I was able to do this time. But getting up into the lighthouse, which for those that are not aware, the lighthouse was built back in '68. It wasn't designed to be a true navigational aid for boaters. It was just kind of like an aesthetic thing that was built. And what's cool is it's about 130 steps up to the top, but it's very easy. The landings have all of this information and knickknacks and artifacts and things that you can read. And this is me descending down into the gift shop where you can just, spend, like if you stopped and read everything as you went up or down, it would take you 30 minutes to get to the top. Just a lot of really cool historic pictures and things that talk about, the history of just that area, right after the Civil War, all of the slaves that were freed, what did they do on the plantations? How did they survive? How did this Hilton Head as an island, was kind of forgotten after the Civil War, and it was all the new freed slaves were out there just kind of like making a go of it, and how it evolved over the years, and when I was there, I picked up this print, which is kind of cool. So you can see this is when the lighthouse was being constructed in '68, and then this is the result in it was finished in '69, and I just thought that was really cool. And then there's a picture from when George and I were there 13 years ago. I picked up a print that was kind of reminiscent of our little journey there. This is the print that I got was that, and it kind of
the 18th over
yep
over that little grassy, I don't know what the grass is called, swamp grass or
sawgrass,
whatever.
I guess. But then the reason I like that is because this was our photo from 13 years ago with the lighthouse in the back. So really just a great trip. Flew into Savannah, drove up to Charleston, stopped at Kiowa, revisited that because we'd played that about 4 or 5 years ago. Still very windy at Kiowa, but just checking out the vibe. Kind of annoyed with the pro shop at both Kiowa and Harbor Town. Let me tell you what, there are no medium-sized golfers that go to these courses, because when you go into these pro shops, there's medium stuff everywhere. Nobody's buying mediums. But try to find an XL. Try to find a double X, and something that you need, like Peter Millar for the hoodies. I have to go up to the double X for the hoodies. Nobody carries that. It's just super freaking annoying. Like, you finally see something that you want. Like Kiowa had this really sweet vest. Hey, do you have this in XLs? Nope. We just got mediums and smalls. So you're sold out on the XLs and the largest. Here's a tip. Double down on those sizes, because those are the ones that are selling.
Maybe not. Maybe not buy so many smalls and mediums, but maybe double the
Right.
XL, that large XL and double XLs.
Do you want to sell some stuff? Then maybe,
Yeah.
buy 3 times the amount of XL and large stock in some sweet colors, and tell the mediums and the smalls to kick rocks, because they're not buying stuff, and it's evident by all the stuff that's left over. Anyway,
As always,
I'm
always
being a
smalls and
snob.
mediums.
But the thing that was really annoying about the trip was, we're not gonna talk golf for a minute. We're gonna talk basketball for a second, then we're gonna come back to golf.
All right.
Trivia.
What's going on? Is there what basketball is being played now?
Well, there's this big tournament. It's called the NIT. No, I'm sorry, the NCAA's. Fun fact, trivia: name the only Division I school that has never won a game in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. I'll give you a hint.
You're asking the wrong guy for basketball knowledge.
What team is currently dead to me?
Nebraska?
Correct. Nebraska. Remember when we were at Whistling Straits and they ended up losing like their opening game to Illinois with Scott Frost or whatever? Just embarrassed at home. And I remember I took my head cover for a 3-wood and I threw it in the trash can, and I said, "Oh wait, let's go to the clubhouse because I'm gonna go get a 3-wood cover." And you're always commenting how I never used my 3-wood. I really just wanted it for the Whistling Straits head cover. You are correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So ceremonial. Okay. I still had this. Okay. It was covering my TaylorMade M2, which I do not use anymore. Okay. But I still needed a head cover for it because I don't want it to get all scratched up. I occasionally hit the M2 when I'm at the range and just having fun. But this, dead to me. Dead to me. Nebraska loses to Texas A&M. I'm thinking due theory. They finally made the tournament. They're going to be playing Texas A&M. Why is Texas A&M relevant? Because the AD for Nebraska, Trev Alberts, homegrown product, played linebacker at Nebraska during the championship years, whatever. He left. He became the AD for Nebraska. Okay. He leaves, not for significant money, almost like a parallel move over to Texas A&M, who Nebraska plays first round in the tournament, Texas A&M. Of course, they lose. I'm thinking we're due. But no, the Nebraska curse rises up again, and they cannot overcome this. They lose. And so the wife likes to hit TJ Maxx's in these different areas. And what did I find? A Money G4 head cover in red. This is going to go on the M2. So Nebraska officially dead to me. College sports as a whole practically dead to me. College baseball, I'm still hanging on to that, simply because they hold the College World Series at in Omaha. But yeah, I mean, winnable game.
There we go. Over here, so they lost by 16 to Texas A&M.
Yeah, and on paper, I think weren't they the higher seed? Weren't they the 8th seed?
Yeah. Nebraska was 8.
I mean,
Texas A&M was 9.
Just rock chalk, dude. That's all you got to do. At least make it competitive. But true to form, Nebraska on national TV, wilts, whatever the sport is. Volleyball this year, choke. Men's basketball this year, choke. So,
and Nebraska's had a really good run with volleyball the past 2 or 3 years.
Until they play Texas. Until they play Texas in anything. Texas just has their number. But anyway, I digress. This is a golf podcast, but I had to get that off. I'm stoked though about getting the head cover and the Harbortown print. It was a great trip. You and I we're already talking about going to play Kiowa. We may deviate and go play Harbortown too. Sea Island is on
while we're there and just knock it out. I mean, it's been an iconic one for me that I've been wanting to play for a while. So, just seeing that all I really can remember is 18 there, but yeah, I can't wait to play it.
And when I was at Harbortown, and that's coming up here in a couple of weeks, the RMS tournament or the Heritage, sorry. I was telling Tiffany, we were looking over one of the things I remember about Harbortown, besides not parring 18. I bogeyed that. George parred it. I was beating his ass by like 6 or 7 strokes at the turn. Okay, we're coming into 9. I had a beautiful drive. I had 125 into the hole, which is stock pitching wedge for me. I just hit a nice, easy pitching wedge. I'm perfect. Right in the middle of the green. Let's go. Flew it long. There are these small bunkers, like 4 feet in diameter, that surround the hole on
That's 18.
3 sides. This is on 9.
On 9, okay.
On 3 sides. So I flew it into the back one. You get down to the bottom of the bunker is like 3 feet in circumference. So I'm like, shit, how am I going to get out of this? So I had to like take a big swing at it. Flew it back over the green to the front bunker, and then had to go out sideways. Ended up like double bogeying the freaking, or triple bogeying the hole, and my 6-stroke lead at the turn dwindled down. George is laughing. I'm just like, F you. But that was one of the best. That's one of the memories I remember from this.
So all it took was one hole to change the turn the tide. So
yeah,
sometimes that's all it takes.
And then we're getting ready to talk about the Valspar, and that's Kevin Mitchell played the snake pit. He set a record, and this just goes to show you how stupid golf can be. Kevin Mitchell last week at the Players finished dead last at TPC.
4 over.
Yep, and you got to be thinking, I suck. I absolutely suck at this game. But this is why these guys are so good, because they just compartmentalize that. They know that they've got the game every week. They got a chance. Excuse me. And yesterday, he played the snake pit, which is a par 4, par 3, par 4. He played it 3-2-2. Nobody in the tour has ever played that, has gotten through the snake pit in 7 strokes. And yesterday, it took an eagle on 18 for him to set the record. But what the point of all this is, dead last, Players Championship last week,
leading
the tournament. He's going to wake up today. He tees off at 1:00 here in a little bit, and he'll be the leader. And I'm just like, what a complete reversal.
Look at your boy that we talked about the last episode, Malnati. I mean, he's tied for second right now.
That's right. Malnati had a meltdown of the ages. and then Justin Thomas, who was leading it for a little while. And then, and I was like, cool. I'd love to see JT back at the top, because, it's a confidence thing. He needs to get some confidence and get the after last year, which was just abysmal.
He's not great to see top him. 20.
Yeah, he had a meltdown of the ages yesterday. And or maybe it was Friday, but I'm just like, I'm stunned. He's so good, and he's just not, he's not being able to put it together. And then Keith Mitchell, over the span of 7 days, just says, I'm going to play out of my mind. I'm going to lead this tournament, and it's a good tournament. There's a lot of names in this tournament. So,
oh yeah, a lot of good players. He shot. I was just trying to find Thomas's. Yeah, he shot a 79, 8 over 79.
Yeah,
and it was his putts. He had 38 putts.
And what was even funnier about Mitchell's eagle hole out on 18 yesterday, as he hit it, he's holding it, and something got in his eye, so he's looking down. It goes 1 hop dunk, and he doesn't even see it go in. So he has to turn and ask his caddy, did that go in? And then they give each other the high five, the business. But it was pretty funny.
I didn't see that one. That was on 18. That was 18.
Yeah, which is that. Okay. So you and I were there back in November.
Yeah.
Conditions weren't great. Of course, it's, their maintenance and stuff, getting ready for all of this.
But they were closed.
Yeah, they were. We'd missed it by 2 days. Playing the Copperhead course. We got to play some of the other courses, which were okay, but the Copperhead course was closed for maintenance. But remember, 18. What makes 18 so hard is it's uphill a lot at the end of the hole, so it makes things way much, obviously much longer. But the other surprising thing is what they're able to do when when George and I first played this years ago, it was the green is so close to the road. I was like, where do they put the stands? And then when you look, they're basically closing the road off and putting the stands in the road, because there's not that much room between the end of the green and the road, which is, there's all residences, there's condos and houses and stuff back there.
When we toured it, when we were there in November, we actually started from 18 because they let us take backwards. The cart, and we were able to just go backwards. And yeah, it was road, and then there's the green. I mean, and I think you had even commented, like, if you go over this green by 10 yards, you're
cooked. You're
in the road.
Yeah.
You're gonna take a big first bounce and end up in the clubhouse somewhere.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, we worked backwards, and they were cool about it. They gave us a cart to go out, and we ended up going and getting a picture at the snake pit, which I have right there. So, but we'll go back. We'll go back and play that probably later this spring.
Well, at least it looks like at Valspar they're having some good weather. This is your typical good early spring Florida. Florida weather. So it's a good time of the year to go down there. You don't get too much rain, although it seems like it has been hit and miss a little more this late winter, early spring down there.
Yep, I just got rain down at Harbortown for like 2 solid days, so it's coming.
I hope you brought your rain gear with you.
Speaking of rain gear, good transition right there. So spring's coming, as you said. Rainy season is upon us, and for those of us that golf, it's we don't want rain to just put a damper on the round. Downpours obviously are the exception, but if there's a light sprinkle or some drizzle out there, you want to have good gear that's not too cumbersome, that you can still swing in, and you don't want to pay a lot. And so one site that I have found that I would pass on to everybody is, and we don't get sponsorship money, I'm just throwing this out as a tip. There's a bunch of different sites that you can go to. The one that I have found that I really like is a site called Function 18. And it's a site in the UK. And what I have found about it is, one, it's a little cheaper than stuff that's offered in the US. If something new drops in the US, typically Function 18's already had it for a couple of weeks. So I don't know what it is about, the drops happening in Europe before the US. But the other thing I like is you'll find some European styling and colors on these sites and other European sites before they arrive in the US. So it's cool to have, the latest, greatest in that respect. But
fashion always starts over there.
Fashionista, right? Exactly. So the one thing that I did 2 years ago before our Pinehurst trip was I actually went out and I spent some money on a good rain top and bottom. And one that I would recommend to people is the Sunderberg line. Yeah, you can see that
Sunderland.
Yeah, the Sunderland. Sorry. And this is what I ended up going with. And if you go to the Function 18 site, there's Galvin greens out there. You can get Pumas. You can get Adidas. You can spend $300-400 for just a rain jacket. I'm cheap. I don't want to spend that much, but I also want a good jacket. So I ended up going with the Sunderberg Valberg. And Sunderland. Sorry, I keep saying Sunderberg.
Who the hell is Sunderberg?
But I have it here, and I wanted to just kind of walk through it with folks. And this is what I would recommend that you look for in a good rain jacket, and why I ended up going with. Hold on, I'm going to make sure I get this right. Sunderland.
Very good. Very smooth.
So first and foremost, it's got to be waterproof, right? So this is completely waterproof. It's got bonded seams, so there is no leaking going in. The other thing, I'm just going to be really quick about this. What I loved about this, it had a high collar, and in the back here, you can cinch the collar down. There's that, which a lot of jackets don't. I have a Nike that first of all, it doesn't cinch on the neck. And so once water starts dripping into your neck, man, there's nothing more irritating than water coming down, into your neck. So that I thought for me was like fantastic. You can like just cinch that mother down and nothing's getting in there. Well, not as much. The other thing that I liked is the cuffs on this, because it's an indoor. The cuff is connected. I'm sure this is like sounding awesome on the microphone right now, but the cuff is connected, and then you can cinch it down even more with that. So it's kind of like one piece, and then you can like really tighten it down with the cuff. And then of course on the bottom, it cinches on the bottom, right? And there's the pocket up front, so you can keep your scorecard and other stuff in here. But here's the beauty of this. I paid less than $200 for this top. Now you can go get FootJoys, you can go get Galvin Greens, you could go get top end Adidas stuff, whatever you want. You're going to pay $300-$400 for the jacket alone. We're not even talking pants. I ended up getting the matching pants for this for like $110, and I got them both off of Function 18. It ships from the UK. It takes maybe 4 days to get here, and what I loved is just the different colors and fashions that were available. I ended up buying two. This one was my gray. I ended up getting something a little bit brighter for my second one. But they've come out with some new colors, like that blue looks fantastic. That's the other thing I hate about, or I shouldn't say hate, I dislike about the rain gear in the US. You get basically two choices, black or gray.
Maybe red. Maybe red if you're lucky.
Yeah. And it's just drab. This is my big complaint with Under Armour as a whole, their entire golf line right now. It's like, pastels of black, gray, black. There are no really cool designs. And so that's the Function 18 website is my go-to when I buy any apparel now. My move is, if I see something that Puma drops or, Adidas will drop, my first move is to go look at Function 18, see if they got it. And typically they'll have it, and it'll be even less than what's offered in the US. The last thing that I would say on if you're going to order from Function 18 is pay attention to the size guides, because a US XL is a double X in the UK. It's usually you have to step up one size for the UK sizing. But I can't say enough good things about Function 18. I've bought a ton of stuff off of their site. Delivery's always been great, but just the selection of stuff that they have out there has, in my mind, been fantastic. Now they don't have Peter Millar, but or Johnny O, but those you're going to find in the pro shops anyway. So just as a tip, if you're looking to put together a really good but low cost rain suit this year, I would check out the Sunderbergs from Function 18. Did I get that right?
Maybe even the Sunderland.
Sunderland.
You can check them out too. I don't know what you've got. You've got the Sunbergs.
Sunberg. Who is the Sunberg guy? Do I owe that
know.
guy money? Anyway, it's the Sunderlands. And the Valspar is the line that I got, which I highly recommend.
That's all you're doing. You're just mixing those two words together there.
Perhaps that's it.
Put it on the Sunderbergs tab.
Well,
good stuff. I know you've mentioned it before, and I've checked it out, and it seems like it's it's got just about everything you want. It's just, especially golf wise. They're just got all kinds of different apparel, and I do like a lot of their jackets. I haven't got anything from there yet, but they always seem to have the fresh. They got the fresh stuff.
Definitely got the fresh stuff.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was James's Fashionista 5 minutes. I don't know what segment we should call that. You know what? One of the things that I would like to know with rain gear, there's a couple of things that get me. As you know, I don't really wear rain gear very often. there's two things. It's an OCD thing. I can't stand the swishing. I'm an anti-swisher. I can't stand hearing the whoosh, 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 whoosh. Yes. Yeah, and then in a swing is that whoosh, whoosh. And it messes with me. I don't know what it is. I'd rather have something with no sleeves, and I just try to keep my gloves dry, and and go from there. And I might have to change a shirt at the turn or something, but I don't wear too much rain gear. Plus, you start sweating. Some of that stuff. If it's Gore-Tex, it might help some, but
I think you do have OCD. You don't like sweating when you're golfing. It's too hot. You don't like sweating in your rain gear.
No, I don't mind sweating when I golf. I just don't like. I'm just saying the rain gear makes me. It's the swishing and plus you can really start, especially if it's like a summer day and you get a shower and you put that on. I mean, I might as well just be out getting rain on my shirt because it's going to be drenched by the time I take it off anyways. And it looks like I've been working out or something.
You only like sweating when you're working out, I guess.
Well, and speaking of working out, as we're coming out of our winter time and we're our hibernation, and we're starting to think about golf again and start getting in some swings and going out and playing. What have you done over the winter? Do you do any golf specific exercises, or do you just do a standard fitness routine that's just maybe all encompassing or just core work?
Yeah, so I'm focusing for the last year and a half. It's all over, right? It's the standard workout that I normally do. But then I've been putting in a lot more core, a lot more turn. Every year I say I'm going to work on flexibility, but with, two replaced hips, I can't get super flexible. But it's more of the turn and the stretch, definitely more core turning, planking. I when I'm doing sit-ups, I like to do the penguins, which are the side motion to get your obliques kind of in shape. I'm also taking the either a dumbbell, a plate, or one of the balls, and I'm kind of like doing the turns in a sit-up motion. I'm doing that. A lot of cable pulls. If they have the like, I'll just call it a stick, but if there's a bar with the clip on the end and I'm able to like kind of simulate a turn,
even
with
like a TRX stick or that you could do that with.
That's been my focus, is a lot of core and a lot more leg, especially on the outer muscles of my hip, working that. But that's pretty much all I've been when I'm doing golf workouts. It's mostly stuff that's targeted on the core and my legs.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I do as well. I mean, I've started transitioning now to where I would normally just do your core workouts. And when I say core, I just mean like the foundational, still working chest and back, and I do a full body workout. But now I'm getting to where I'll start to throw in different ball slams, different kind of I don't even know really what they're called, but some twisting with resistance exercises. A lot of hip stuff, single leg hip routines, because there's so much power is generated from inside the hips, individually hips, not like your waistline, but the hip socket. So I've been working more on strengthening up the hips for rotating the legs, either direction. And then just core, doing a lot of like the planks. I like doing the three-handed or legged planks or whatever, that force you to have to use your core to stabilize. So I don't do so much of the the straight line, like sit-ups or crunches or anything anymore. Everything that I do now is basically stabilizing. They're all, if I'm working on cores, it's a stabilizing exercise. Like I used to do the farmer's carries, and I used to love, doing the farm where you just have
What's
something.
What's a farmer carry?
You have something in both hands, say like
okay.
you got weights in both hands, heavier weights, and you just walk
like
around.
A dumbbell.
Yeah, you could have a dumbbell in each hand. Well, as soon as you let go of one of the dumbbell, of course, your body wants to lean towards whatever side that other dumbbell you still have is. So the suitcase carry is you just hold it in one hand, and your body has to keep itself upright. You don't want to you don't counter lean, you don't let it pull you over, but you still walk straight, and you'll feel that. And for me, I feel it in the lower back, and you can feel those muscles, those stabilizing muscles. But so yeah, as I get more and more, or getting closer and closer to playing more, and and just to swinging more in general, I've kind of shifted to where I'm starting to focus more on actual golf specific movements, legs, glutes, split squats. Been doing those as well. Anything just to strengthen up that area. Even with my knees, I've been doing some really quad specific stuff to strengthen up the muscles around my knees, which feels good, especially as a right-handed player. When you straighten that lead leg out, and on your follow through, that can be a painful painful move.
That all sounds good, but nothing really tops the training aids that you can find out there.
I don't even know, man. That looks like something.
I had to get this
from space.
I had to get this.
You gotta draw.
I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw this. And you know how it's like, what's that ball that you hang from your neck?
The Tour. I have it.
Tour Striker.
Tour Striker.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So this is the Nerf version, I guess, of the Tour Striker. You hold it in front. Oh, see, I can't even do it. It's like this, and it's got these alignment rods, and you swing. I just smacked the microphone.
We've got to just get some video of you with all your swing aids.
Well, I'm bringing this to Tampa. We're going to be using this because I was like,
no, I mean with like as many. Let's see if we can get you geared up in as many of your swing aids at one time, and
use them all at one time.
At one time as possible.
Well, okay. So right now, off the top of your head, what would you say the over under would be on that?
Like how many pieces?
Like how many pieces could I realistically put together as a training aid?
Well, and
to
just
produce a swing.
And just thinking of the swing aids that I know that you have. All right. So I know you could use that you just had. You've got that. You don't you have that wrist thing? That thing that keeps your wrists.
I might
keeps your wrists flat. I know you've got that like wind club. You got that club that's got.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. So you can swing that. It gives you wind resistance.
Yeah.
Oh man, you've got so many things too that you can attach to your.
I would set the over under, just not even thinking about it. I would set it at 7.
All right, I was going to say 6.
Do you think? Okay, so 6. Let's go with 6. So you think at least 6 things could be put together? Do you think 7? I'll raise it. 8.
Hey, what was it? 8, because I know you just got that thing that David Ledbetter created where you stick it on your club and you
see. Now you're tracking. Now you're tracking the alignment aids.
Yes,
the takeaway.
The commercial's like wrong, wrong, bing, bing, bing.
Exactly. Don't forget you sleep on the hanger.
That's like the perfect.
The hanger is one of the most effective teaching tools out there. So, geez, now as I think about that, I think 10 might be the over under. Could I get more than 10? Well,
we're gonna have to do. We're gonna do a segment. We're
would one of these
come over? I'm gonna get.
Would this count? Like if I have to put it down to like,
because all this could be a training aid.
All these things could be used for putting too, right? People think it's just a swing aid. No. All this still applies to putting too.
It's a training aid. So we're gonna have to
throw
see.
putting in there. It's gonna get up to like the 15s.
Well, I mean, at one time, how many things can we put on you at one time.
That's what I'm saying.
That,
Yes.
And why not? I mean, just you've got training aids for every part of your swing. You might as well wear them all at one time.
It just looks fun. It's squishy. It's neon. It's got a bunch of it. If we put some legs on it, it could be like our Golfplexity mascot.
It could be the little Golfplexity alien guy there. And if you get pissed off, you can just grab that and squeeze it for a little while.
That. Well, yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
that.
You just squeeze it. You just like
fuck.
Yeah,
stupid
backswing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, all right,
we'll see.
Things are better.
I'm looking forward to using this though, just to get the looks on the range.
People will be looking forward to seeing you use that. Yes.
Yeah. Probably injure myself first time out, just like I smacked this the microphone. But
yeah,
anyway,
you'll totally poke yourself in the eye with one of those little arms, and and be done. Be done for a while. Yeah. You won't be able to play. It's like, oh, my arm, it's broken.
Then we'll be back to rehabilitating and talking about more fitness instead of core. Now we'll be talking about like elbow strengthening.
Yeah, and then it'll segue right into how reflexes play such an important role in the golf swing.
True.
But
anyway,
well, good stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody enjoyed today's episode. Got some tips on the rain gear and the training aids and fitness, of course. But that'll do it for today. And we have a trip coming up to look forward to. You're going to be getting your fitting out at TPC Sawgrass.
Yes, sir.
Also your putting lesson. So hopefully we'll get some good content out of that. I think we're going to end up playing out there, and we may even end up at our favorite spot, Bay Hill, to do a little practice. So
weather permitting, baby.
Weather permitting. But hey, even if it's bad, no problem, because we've got Sunderberg.
Yes.
AKA Sunderland. So no problem. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you had fun.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.